Skyblock needs updates. I think everyone knows this and everyone agrees. New stuff is good for everyone. And whilst we only get updates as fast as a few developers can create them, there's absolutely no shortage of people lending their time to create ideas for updates on the forums. Unfortunately, most of these suck. But there are a few high-effort, nicely made posts like this one that's 14,000 words long. No, my attention span isn't long enough to read this, and neither is yours, so I won't be talking about this one today. But I have found 3 other posts that are really cool and have images to keep both you and I entertained. Speaking of entertaining, my favorite entertaining thing to do is put a live counter of our sub count on my second monitor and just smile every time I see that we gained a sub. So if you want to make me smile and be in under 93,339 subs gained because random equals funny, then subscribe. Okay, let's get to cool ideas now. The first one here is by Tickles, also known as rm_fr_/, which is not the same person from our last video. This is an Ocelot Slayer concept, which is obviously something I'm going to love because I'm obsessed with Slayers. The whole idea of the Slayer is based around the boss having ferocity and multiple copies of itself, which is interesting in itself whilst not being too out of the theme with the rest of Skyblock. The Ocelots would spawn in a new island that you can reach from the castle, which I kinda don't like. I feel like instead of a new island, there could be easily a new area added to or underneath the jungle area in the foraging island. As usual, the boss has 3 tiers and 3 abilities. The first level has no special ability beyond just being small. The second level has ferocity, so its attacks have a 20% chance to double strike, and the third tier spawns with 4 weaker copies of itself and higher ferocity. The fourth tier just has higher stats and a triple strike chance, although I am not sure if the creator of this quite understands how ferocity works. The drops and recipes are fairly standard too, dropping the basic resources, rarer resources, books, and a rune. The recipes include a set designed to give you extra defense against Ocelots, which makes the fight easier for new players as usual, and a sword that deals random damage but looks like a pretty good sword for mid-game too. There are the usual accessory families with the Slayer that are unlocked and upgraded too. All in all, this idea seems like it fits almost perfectly into the current game and builds on top of what's already there. My main criticism is that the new island is unnecessary and the items seem more underpowered than anything else, but I'd love to see it in game. The second idea is by the 99th Troll and is a rework of the Nether Island, which really needs a rework right now because it's kinda skipped over and there's legit nothing useful there at all. The Magma Boss is also a joke. This idea transforms the Nether into a proper early game island and bridges the gap between just starting and going to the end. This new island would have wither skeletons that act like normal enemies with funky things like armor penetration and blazes which do small amounts of true damage to you. This includes a few new early game Necromancer items that can summon a blaze or wither skeleton to fight for you, as well as a new mini-boss. The Magma Boss also gets a redesign, being summoned by players instead. When killing a magma cube, there's a small chance of spawning a cube stat, and when defeated, the stat drops a summoning item for the new Magma Boss, which works similar to the Ender Dragon. In the post, they say the loot system wouldn't favor late game players, but I think an easier solution would be making the boss take 1 damage from all hits, just like event enemies. There's also a new Netherrector Legend, which you can read yourself on the forum post, links in the description. Also, what is defense? The last suggestion I've seen is an armor dyeing concept, or just a cosmetic concept in general, which lets you change the color of your armor and change the texture pack of your sword to a different material. This is good if you use a stupid client that breaks texture packs, I am looking at you, Lunar, and is also a nightmare in general for texture pack makers. This variation of the idea is by Red R1SH, or Radrish. there would be a new building in the hub, and the NPC will be called Shade, because different shades of colors. It was funnier in my head, I promise. Not sure why they don't do this in the existing tailor shop, but alright. Shade would open a menu that lets you dye armor at the cost of some coins and some materials. The materials aren't massively expensive and would require a rank to apply some of them, and this also adds a use for enchanted wool. You can do the same thing with swords, making them look like diamond or wood or whatever you want for style points. This has the added benefit of making rare item color collectors absolutely molding at the idea. To prevent scams, dyed armor and weapons cannot be sold on the auction house or traded until they are reset to their normal color and material. What do you guys think of these ideas? Let me know in the comments, and like yesterday, let me know if you like these type of videos going over some cool community ideas, because there's some really talented people out there who want to get their ideas out to the world and are entertaining to think about. Who knows? Maybe we might see some of these ideas in the game one day.